anyone ever tried chewing tobacco before? Or did? Well, according to the University of Minnesota, approximately 20% of high school boys have tried it before and have been hooked on it since they were 13, and 2% of high school girls have tried it. Today I'm going to tell you about the effects of chewing tobacco, what chemicals are in chewing tobacco, and how it will affect you in the long run. The first thing is trying chewing tobacco. It goes in your lip, but between your lip and your gum, and it just sits there, and you just kind of suck on it, but you really don't. If you swallow it, you're going to be real sick. It increases your heart rate caused by the nicotine in your blood. It also, after a while, it constricts your blood vessels, which slows down the oxygen going through your blood. This right here is a guy who dipped since he was, 13, and he lost the bottom part of his jaw and part of his tongue because cancer of the mouth is one of the most common ways of cancer, and is particularly high with using tobacco. It also makes your teeth all colory and like yellow with stains and everything, and it causes bad breath for most of the time, but anytime you brush your teeth, you're still going to have that minty taste, depending on what kind it is. It deteriorates your gums, leaving holes, and sometimes causing tooth decay. There's another guy who lost his whole bottom part, and like he said, most of his tongue. So when he talks, it's kind of like, The second thing about chewing tobacco is the different types of chemicals that are in it. There are over 10 different types of chemicals that are used for different things, like cadmium, which is used in car batteries, lead, which is a big poison, nicotine, which is a drug, or a strong addictive drug, uranium, which is used in nuclear weapons, sodium, sugar, and fiberglass and sand, which gives it that little cutty taste that you get. There's also some other type of thing. I can't say it, but it causes irritation in the mouth and stuff like that. Do the next one. There's whenever you're doing it for a while and it gets into your bloodstream, it starts to do. Like I said, it makes a little pathway small, so that it starts eating them, and then it gets to your fingers and stuff, and starts eating away your fingertips and stuff like that. You ever seen a nail that's been smashed too much and it has black on it? Well, with certain people in their body, if you're doing it for too long, they'll start eating away the insides of your nails. That's toenails, fingernails, and like wherever else you have nails and stuff. But some of the long-term effects of chewing tobacco is that they erode your teeth, so you're gonna have to get dentures sooner than what you think. A lot of people who've been dipping since they were 13, they have dentures by the time they're 30. It slopes your gums, so your gums look kind of like roller coasters, which is real bad because your teeth will be all nasty looking. It'll cause bad breath forever after a certain amount of year, no matter how long you brush your teeth. And it is a major turn-off to people whenever you get in the face and your breath stinks. It affects your eating habits because it takes away all your taste buds. It takes away what everything tastes like. Most of everything will be tasting like, it says, like an acid-filled sucker, which will take away everything else. There'll be no point in eating. These are different types. Of course, this is the most common people get is Skull or Kodak. I mean, they have Grizzly, but a lot of people In California, don't use it. And then there's the old school one, like the one back home where it's just in a big bucket and you just pull it out and chew on it and spit it wherever you want to. And that's mostly about it. That's it.
Thank you. All right, CJ, you've got an okay introduction. I like the statistical information better as the attention device rather than the rhetorical question that turns into an audience survey. The topic's very clear. I think your thesis needs to be a little bit more focused. You do have a preview, but it's a very basic kind of preview, and I think it needs to be a little bit more planned. It sounds just like, and then I'm going to talk about X, Y, and Z, and it just doesn't flow very well. I think you want to be more careful about the language there. On the material itself, I don't get any source citations. I don't doubt what you're saying, but you want to make sure that we know that you did some research. I mean, you had the information at the beginning from the University of Minnesota study that told us the information about where, the number of users, boys and girls and that kind of stuff, but that was the last citation that we got on any information. The descriptions are pretty good, although sometimes they're a little grotesque and unpleasant. That acid lollipop is something that I'm going to be not eating later on. It seemed to me that you kind of jumped into one section right at the beginning. It was very abrupt start to the process of the effects on the human body. That needs to be you need to transition to that a little bit clearly. You basically have the visual that jumps us into that, and sometimes it sounds like you're being led by the visual. Instead of the visual supplementing your speech, you're kind of following along with whatever the visual is, and I think that that's something that would be a little different if you practiced a little bit more and you worked on transitions and content a little bit more. The visuals were fine, although sometimes the pictures were they looked a little out of focus. That's probably the source that you've got. It's not that you could have done anything about it. That's the picture that you've got, but they're a little hard to see. And to be honest, I think maybe that was a good thing for most of us, not to see some of that. On the presentation, we're going to work on this. Remember, that's our next project. We're going to work on presentation sorts of things. And you've got a couple of things that you need to watch for. For instance, you have a tendency to talk in front of us but not talk to us. You never really look at people, even when you're not reading, which sometimes you are doing. You're doing a little bit of reading. But even when you're not reading, you're never really looking at the audience and talking to them. You're just kind of up in front of us talking, to the floor or to the wall or off in the corner, and you want to engage the audience a little bit more. All right, thank you.